Welcome back to this broadcast. We are on our episode of Coach Tembo, as he told us last time, of his life journey in Ugandan sport. Well, we concluded last time we were talking about his time in secondary school as he was changing from one area to another. Coach Tembo, welcome back.
Thank you.
Yeah, and we'd like to know, you're talking about different aspects of life that many people may not know about you.
Yeah.
So as you joined secondary school, what are those memories you remember that you'd like to share with our viewers?
Thank you. Of course, there are many, but before maybe I go to that,
Okay.
there is someone after watching our first episode, he sent me a message and he wanted to know how old I am.
Yeah, I think people are trying to figure out the things you're talking about.
And I said I will answer you when we come to episode 2. The truth of the matter is, I do not know my exact age. The problem is why I'm saying I'm not so sure of my exact age. First of all, I'm a twin.
Okay.
And I have my twin sister who has a totally different birthday from mine. As I plan.
How is that possible?
I don't know. Maybe it is our mom who knows the secret behind that.
Okay.
Because, for example, every time I wait to celebrate my birthday in December, my mom calls me in May to congratulate me.
The birthday is in May.
May, she's like, happy birthday, my son. I'm like, come on, mine is in December.
That's what the document says.
Yeah, of course. But I think this problem came, when P5 with my twin sister, and unfortunately I left her in P5. She repeated P5. Okay. Probably that's where
the misunderstanding
exactly, especially where in P7 where we registered, and probably I could have registered my own one.
Yes.
But also I discovered that the year I played for under 20 national team, I could have also changed my. But the fact is, I think
things of football.
Very true, of course, and I think we shall also need to talk about that. How age cheating is really exactly affecting our players. Very true.
All right. With all that, let us now get back to your journey and you're entering secondary school.
Yeah, of course. So I said 96. I left Rizori High School because of the ADF. I came to Kampala here because my dad was working in the Nanguru Police Barracks. And I felt like studying in Kampala here, but Dad said no, I think I can go to Mbarara. I have my stepmom there. So I was admitted in Nyamitanga Senior School.
So how was Mbarara when you reached there? Because I know when you came to Kampala, were there buildings?
Of course they were there.
Was very tell us that workers' house was the first building. So when you went to Mbarara, was there any change? It was still like like in Kampala?
There was a change. Of course, there was a change because Mbarara is nearer to Kampala.
Yeah.
You expect that things have to be totally different. So one was a new place for me.
Okay.
I was going to make new friends, in a new environment, etc.
Right.
So in senior 3, that is 97 now.
Okay.
This Kunyamtange says there was a lot of teasing and bullying. I was lucky. I think the first weeks we had some small games, and in those games, boys came to know that I think now we have gotten a very good footballer, and I got so many friends who are now protecting me against.
So because of the football, you got that immunity.
Exactly. So that very time again, we had the interclasses. Now remember, I have discovered now myself. Since the other inter-classes in Rizori High.
You knew what you could do.
Exactly. So I knew my potential. But the truth of the matter is, I had always known my potential, but exposure now
was the talent.
So I think that game between the senior 2 and senior 5 in Rizori High now
opened your mind.
Exactly. So in
Because
senior 3,
when you look at so many people who want to play football, especially even parents, they take long to discover what can my child do. In the play will be like, what can I do?
Very true.
So for you, I like it.
And by the way, say this, those years, during our time, parents were not in support of their sons playing football. Those days, footballers were
My own story, my mom totally refused.
So many players or boys of our generation, none of them
were not able to
ended up there, exactly because of the parents. So in Barara, after those games, interclasses, now the coach. By then, coach was the late Abbas Sendiowa. So they knew that now.
How did they have belief in you? Because from behind there, we had, like in the first episode, we had a challenge of coaches undermining you. But was there a change with this coach?
With this coach, I think, remember at the other side, we didn't have a coach. I remember telling you that these were just boys who were pretending to be coaches. I think who was just, But now this is Sendio Abbas, who is a CAF coach, licensed coach. So he knew what exactly. So he saw me and he saw some talent in me. And we started training now officially, and I was official on the school team. Senior 3. And I remember that year 97, I played on the school team, even when by then, so many schools were engaging in, how do you call it these days? Those days we used to call them bachuba.
Machinery.
Exactly. And those days it was normal. The schools,
there are no regulations. I think regulations.
They were there, but it was very hard to do what?
To implement them.
Exactly. So our school, I will never forget that year, they purchased, and I will use that word, bachubas. Okay, from Kampala here. Actually, there were around 13 bachubas. Almost
a full team.
Exactly.
2 substitutes.
Exactly. But one thing I must say that I will never forget, all the players they brought from Kampala. Remember, every time you could hear players from Kampala.
Of course, they have this. Even right now, when you go to the village and say, these are from the.
They were treated so different. But I can assure you, by then I was still playing in defense.
That's number 3.
We were my size now.
Yes.
In Resori, I was playing as a striker, interclasses. Now I come here, I'm playing as a defender on the school team, and I was playing as a right full back. But there's a Mchuba man, or Mchuba boy, who was tall and huge, and who was playing also right full back. I can tell you, I outcompeted that guy on that team.
Pound for pound.
I'm telling you. Everyone was very surprised. The short boy, small boy, in senior 3, moreover, because by then actually it was very hard for a senior 1, 2, 3.
Even right now.
Play on the school team. And I can assure you, by then also in Bara district, football was a little bit competitive because of Tare and then Bara High. Then also St. Joseph's. So I had to make sure that at least I stamped my foot on that team. And indeed I won that number.
I think what people need to know that, adding to what you're talking about, football is not all about size. It's not saying about the mental. So
exactly.
If you are more composed,
exactly.
You know what you
very
capable
true.
of. Like you said earlier that you are.
So 97, I think that was a year when people came to know that now we have a new kid on block. 98, that's the year I think we tried to qualify for Coca-Cola.
Okay.
That school had never qualified. You participated actually.
Yes.
And that year, I remember we beat Ntare School on finals. Yes, in Barara district. And that simply meant that we had already qualified for Coca-Cola. But just because I told you that, Bachubas. So Ntare School, what they did, this was a prominent school in the district. Yeah, for them, they had always...
They have the resources.
Exactly. And they were always qualifying for Coca-Cola. Ntare School on Bara High. So what I did, they went through now the right and they petitioned our school, and they were. That's how I came to miss playing in Coca-Cola. And I must assure you that I left high school without playing in Coca-Cola. So 98 was a year where now Tembo was established. Remember, senior 3 was still new. Some clubs around didn't know about me. But now 98, and indeed I had matured now, mentally, especially mentally. So 98.
Are there players in your secondary school that you remember?
Of course, actually these players who were purchased from Kampala, I still remember 2 of them. One was called Michael, and he's in Kampala. We always meet in Kampala. He was a very good and deadly striker. Another one was Ochaya. Ochaya was a very huge man, very huge left and a very good lefter. And I always also meet him around Kampala here. Then 98, my cousin brother joined me, called Kakine Rashid. He was also another talented lefter.
So these were pivotal in establishing yourself.
Yeah, very true. My coach, the late Abbas Sendiwa, now started having a lot of confidence in me, started mentoring me. To be sincere, I want to say
about
this.
mentorship in secondary school back then. Is it any different from what we see right now, how the players are being mentored?
I may partly say yes, I may partly say no. Because not all schools had the coaches of that nature, of Sendiwa's type. You remember I told this was a CAF one, so he knew what to do to nurture a player. Exactly, he was trained to do that. Actually, so many players in Barada district or in Western Uganda went through Sendiwa's hand. And to me, I owe him a lot because indeed he not only playing but even the coaching.
The nurturing.
Exactly, because I remember there's a time where he had a club called Mbogo FC, and there was this busy man. You remember he was a coach, was a technical in FUFA. He was in charge of the referees. So he was so busy. So sometimes he could leave me with a team to do what. So we shall come to that anyway.
Right.
So 98, I was in senior 4. I remember there was a new school that had just come up in Ibarra called Ngabo Academy. I don't know whether you heard about that.
Not yet, but I want to know. Are you on Basari?
No.
Yeah, continue because I had something. I wanted something.
Yeah.
To
However, these players who are purchased, the Bachubas,
yes.
who come on bursaries.
But those who are in school, it's
exactly. So
98,
98 there is an emerging school called Ngabo Academy of some Afande in Ame. He comes for me. Came and negotiated with the head teacher. I won that boy. The teacher agreed. The man put me in his car, drove me to his school, reached there. We are actually around 1 or 2 kilometers from
the school.
Yes, yeah. I reached there, I saw the school. I was like, okay, yeah. So we negotiated with the gentleman. I told him, you know what?
The negotiation was about fees or...
Of course, I was going now on pure bursary.
Okay.
Pure bursary.
And other incentives.
Yeah, but one thing I must tell them, I must confess, that, and this is what I've always told my players, I was more into books.
I think that's why we connect, because I also was more into...
Yeah. So when I went to that school, I saw it. You know what? This is a new school. I saw some funny buildings there. I think the man had rented some people's houses from the school. I saw it. I started comparing with our
school you are coming from.
So I was like, okay, I'm coming from Basara, yes. I play football, yes. But what about studies? I think there are no studies here. That's one. Structures. Two,
that attracts you.
Exactly. Two, they had no pitches. They were sharing actually with entire school. They were actually hiring, not even sharing entire school pitches, fields. So I was like, I think
I'm not supposed to be here.
Yes. So I told this Afande, let me go back to school and pack my things and come back. I never came back. I never came back.
Yeah, there's something to learn from there. Because I've seen so many players who are in good schools, but because of schools that are emerging and they seem like they promise something.
Very true.
These players don't think about their future.
Yeah.
If you was out there, you cannot play football until you are 40, 50. There's always an end.
Very true. I was very focused, and probably because of my mom. Okay. My mom was also a primary teacher. So So 98. I signed for Mbogo FC to play in Zonal League. And after 98, around senior 4, I remember after playing so many games in Ibarra district there, I remember just like I told that now my name was up there. People now were looking for
So
this.
when you went back to school, I assume now this was to enter senior 5 and senior 6.
Yes.
Is there anything significant that happened during that period of time that you can think about and be like, okay, if this had not happened, I think I wouldn't have taken this course of life, because in senior 6 this is where we normally make those life-changing decisions.
Yeah.
Like the combination, the friends we make.
True.
the university want to attend, or the different kind
Yeah,
of
I want to
attend?
assume that because after senior 4 I joined Kawempe Muslim in A level.
Okay.
Probably that's where the turning point was going to do that, because my head Kawempe was purely academics, so no football. And now I've come from Nyamitanga, where now I'm in 50-50 now, football and academics. So I joined Kawempe, but knowing of course it is football. So when I reached Kawempe, I never saw any sign of football. They were purely in books.
Like Kawempe, we know, or there's another one.
This is very Kawempe, you know. Purely in books. By then I think was Dr. Hajimatov, who Ibrahim was the
So
teacher.
Kawempe members are not be here. You come for him.
So what I'm trying to say is,
Yes, yes.
Kawempe was going to turn my whole world,
Life.
because I could have, entered in books purely and forget about what?
Sports.
About sports. So because I loved football a lot, I was like, no, I think I will not make it. I need to go back to Nyamitanga. Yes. Yeah. And I made that decision surprisingly. And my dad was not happy, but I told him, you know what? Yes, I like books, but football also is my other work. I'm leaving this school.
I think you'll be a good asset in the new curriculum that is being brought about. So let's continue.
Okay, so
yeah.
so second time, I decided to leave.
So in Kawempe, you were there for 1 time.
Yes, one time. Left Kawempe, went back to Nyamitanga. Now, in Nyamitanga, it's never second time, that's when they gave me now a bursary.
Oh.
They gave me a bursary, and I did not.
How did you feel getting a bursary?
I was so happy, of course, because me and some other players used to complain. Well, in O level, no.
We are playing, but
but
not considering
exactly.
us.
So in A level, they gave me that bursary and full bursary.
Okay.
But the mistake maybe I did, which maybe I don't even regret. I never told my parent, especially my dad.
I'll come into that because you need that upkeep money.
So
most of the
second,
time.
and of course, dad never used to give me pocket money. I must be honest. Yes, he's still there. He might be seeing me.
Yeah.
For him, he was, he's a soldier, so he was training me to be that hardened,
Of course, you are happy.
Yeah. So I said, okay. Now let me
Aye.
also. So when they gave me school fees, I said, aha. So school I was
Sorted.
known,
Whatever you wanted was.
yes,
was
I was a
there.
donor to school. Now third time, I don't know who told you that.
Those people are always there.
That had given me a bursary. Oh my dear, the man was so furious. Went to school, indeed they gave him the information that this boy has
Been on bursary.
so I will not tell you how many chibokos I was given. I will not tell you, but there were so many chibokos, and actually the bursary was withdrawn. Yeah, so I had to pay again for third term for 5. Which was okay anyway, but still I continued playing what? Football for the school, and I remember I was made a sports prefect in A level, and that is a year probably that needs we might now have this for the next episode.
Yeah. We see as you enter senior 6, and now you are trying to plan for the upcoming phase of life.
Exactly.
Alright, we appreciate you all for watching this episode. We remind you that we have a Tembo Football Academy. If you have any player or anyone who wants to be nurtured in football, Coach Tembo here, as you see his shirt, has Tembo Football Academy, and the lining that goes below there. Contact us on our Facebook page and like and subscribe to this channel.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Yeah. Bye.